Frozen, an American saga. Only in theaters June 28th, rated R.
Summer is the official big-budget, action-packed time for movies every year. You are constantly reminded of this as trailers drop and press tours kick off promoting movie releases. But why is summer typically when big movies come out, and how did this happen? And it's not just because kids have more free time. Believe it or not, the summer movie season can actually be traced to June 20th, 1975, with the release of Jaws in North America, and its impact is felt to this day. Before Jaws, releasing a movie in the middle of summer was considered financial suicide for a movie company. Summers were meant for swimming and sunbathing, fishing and camping, not for sitting indoors inside a dark room watching a movie. But with the release of Jaws, a new method of releasing movies was born. Sure, there were blockbuster hits before Jaws. Gone with the Wind was released December 15, 1939, Lawrence of Arabia on December 10, 1962, The Ten Commandments on November 8, 1956, and The Sound of Music on March 2, 1965, just to name a few. However, any time but summer was generally considered to be a great time to release a movie. Not only did Jaws defy the typical timeframe release, but also the time it took to make back money by raking it all in at the beginning. Unlike today, movies used to stay in theaters much longer, allowing movies to have considerably longer timelines to make profit. Jaws, on the other hand, broke this mold with the assistance of a massive marketing campaign, another unheard of at the time. In 1974, the book, Jaws, was released and quickly rose to become the #1 selling book nationwide. Universal Studios then fast-tracked Jaws into production with a young 26-year-old Steven Spielberg at the helm. While the movie was in production, the book sold 5.5 million copies. Leading up to the release of the movie, Universal spent an estimated $700,000 on trailers.
From the best-selling novel, Jaws.
The sight of long lines around city blocks of folks waiting to get into theaters on the movie's release date proved the marketing blitz had worked and signaled the importance of opening weekends. Moviegoers by the millions flocked to see Bruce, the mechanical shark, on screen. In its first 35 days in theaters, Jaws sold 25 million tickets and raked in an astonishing $102.5 million. Adjusted for inflation, that is $482.8 million in June 2024. A sum that an overwhelming majority of movies would never replicate in their year-long lifespans at the theaters, let alone in their first month.
A movie executive's dream. It has already made more than $100 million.
In just over a month, Jaws smashed every box office record held up to that point and became the first movie to ever cross the $100 million benchmark at the U.S. box office. The massive success of its opening month is even more impressive when viewing it from its $7 million production budget, or $36.2 million adjusted for inflation. The marketing campaign was paired up alongside a wide synchronized distribution of the movie across the country. This became a central point for releasing what we now call blockbusters, sometimes called tentpole films. Wide distribution allows the front-loading of a movie and allows maximum returns at the box office in the shortest time span. Jaws was assisted by the rise of shopping malls across the United States in the 60s and 70s. Malls were high-trafficked areas for all, but particularly for teenagers. It also helped that malls were air-conditioned, an excellent alternative to the sweltering heat of the summer outdoors. The opening night of Jaws saw it played on 464 screens, the largest wide release of a movie at the time. Thanks in part to this strategy, it is commonplace to see major movie releases on more than 3,500 screens opening weekends. Accompanying the movie's marketing were promotional tie-ins and merchandising, another rarity for its time. With tie-ins, heavy marketing, and large groups of people seeing the movie opening weekend, good old-fashioned word of mouth occurred, making the movie go viral. 2 years later, the formula of massive marketing would be followed by Star Wars: A New Hope. The May 25, 1977 opening of the original Star Wars all but cemented the summer blockbuster into movie lore.
The movie is called Star Wars, and since it opened here 9 days ago, capacity crowds have filled the 1,100 seats in the theater almost daily.
Let me know in the comment section what highly hyped movie you saw opening weekend during the summertime that is still a fond memory to this day. This is Movie University, Education in Cinema.